The Sweet Life LA has returned for season 2, and y'all, you know I don't be doing a ton of reality TV shows here on Erica Vane TV, but I had to break it down this go round because while there was quite a bit of areas of opportunities in season 1, I think that they did hit the ball out of the park with its depiction of LA, with the spotlighting of local black businesses, and with really telling the story of 20-somethings in the creative space, in the business space, trying to figure out not only what they're going to do with their lives professionally, but how do they level up personally while also managing and maintaining dope interpersonal relationships. And let me just go ahead and say, after watching episode 1, this group still ain't figured that out, because we end the episode off with an unnecessary argument, drinks being thrown, people storming out, and borderline fights being had all over issues that were presented in last season that were also misunderstandings as well. But before we get into it, what's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV to talk about The Sweet Life LA season 2. This video will be a breakdown of episode 1. Y'all, I'm so nervous in talking about reality TV shows because this is a lot more real people's lives, and I love to deep dive into fictitious stories and serialized content so that I can pull upon, psychology of characters and bridge it to real people, but not necessarily base it off of real people. So I want to preface this and all of my other reality TV breakdowns or reviews or commentary around these shows with, I understand that these are real people who are on their own specific real life individual journey. They're going to make a ton of mistakes, and hopefully as they do, they're in the process of learning and growing as they do. But I'm going to point them out for sure. Okay. All right. So what did I take away from the first episode of Sweet Life? These damn kids ain't changed, and they not even kids. They is definitely 20 somethings, but I'm in my 30s and my life just looks a lot different than what their life looks like. And honestly, in going back to my 20s and thinking about college, years right after college, and then throwing myself into a career change, because as some of y'all know, I was supposed to be a doctor. I have a master's degree in biology. I decided 2.5 years after graduating grad school and working as a allograft skin processor, that I was bored and I didn't want to go into medicine. I didn't want to stay in the sciences, and I wanted to express myself and double down in my blog and a business. So I started a blog while I was in graduate school because I wanted to start a magazine, but of course I was working on a thesis, couldn't do that. So my blog was a happy medium, and then from my blog I was able to grow my own digital media company, and I'm still working with that to this day. But it was 3 years after that where I was working as an allograft skin processor, and then taking my time off to run in New York and write and collaborate and creative direct and just do a bunch of different things to grow in the creative space and to expand that I decided to focus on it. So I understand the struggle of finding yourself on one path and then pivoting or thinking that there's something else out there for you, and having to find the courage and the commitment to actually even take the leap, because there's quite a few people who don't do that. So I try to go back and think about that and thinking about this series as I'm watching it. However, so much of what I'm seeing these 20 somethings go through, I'm just like, y'all, this is kind of shallow. Like, it's real in your 20s. Like, I look at it like surviving 20 something, because so much of my setting the stage for what my adult life was going to look like happened in my 20s. And we are still seeing these 20 somethings, one, fight over the girl's loyalty to Tylynn, and how she kind of manifests within the group as kind of like the matriarch. PJ bringing an external girl to Palm Springs last year, and that making other girls feel a type of way, specifically Becky, who received a bunch of backlash once that episode aired. At the end of the day, that is not actually PJ's fault. you decided to respond the way that you did when you sign up for reality TV, which is part of the reason why I have very much so been reluctant in seeing certain projects and having things come to me and be like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, because I know the way my Baltimore is set up, I know the way my mouth is set up, I know the way my mind is set up, and I know the way my temper is set up. So at the end of the day, it is also partly on you for your reaction and how you're perceived. That's like Cheryl getting mad of people calling her a pick-me. I was one of the ones calling her a pick-me last season online because she was giving very much so pick-me vibes, and it's going to be interesting to see if she makes any types of shifts this season, because in the first episode we don't actually get to see her interact much with the girls. She's kind of estranged from them. However, they had the premiere party, I think like 2 weeks ago, and her and Tylynn were very much so friendly and chummy there. So I have no idea what this is going to look like for Cheryl. But Becky's biggest problem is that she was getting death threats and a bunch of hate conversation online directed to her because of the whole Miami PJ situation in Palm Springs. And that is what she's using as a driving force for her drama to start the season. So again, I've only watched episode 1, y'all, and this is just based off of what I'm seeing there. And I'm just like, girl, that's whack. Like, it's going to happen. I get hate comments. I get people, like last year, I would have never guessed that me, film, television critic, you can call me a journalist, commentator specifically, like I think on a regular, I am a commentator most, but you know, I write here and there, and sometimes I'll hop in my journalism bag, cool. But last year, I received the most amount of disgusting hate conversation online, where people were talking about all types of stuff. They were talking about how I looked, how much I weighed, how dark my skin was, how they wanted me to be unalived, how they wanted me to be SA'd, all types of stuff. And that was simply based on what I said in videos on my YouTube channel about television shows that I watched. So girl, not that it's okay, because I think that we have a very, 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 very long way to go online when it comes to, one, keep the same energy that you would in real life, because if your ass wouldn't tell me this in Trader Joe's, don't tell me this shit on Twitter. But also in understanding where you're at and where you're putting yourself. Like, I had to make a decision, basically. Am I going to give up the channel? Am I going to give up being honest and speaking my truth and how I feel in my perspective? Am I going to give up on the community that I am building of people who mostly love me and mostly support the things that I'm doing just because there are a few assholes out here? No, I'm not. Okay, so now I have to figure out, how do I safeguard myself? How do I protect my peace? What are my coping mechanisms? What are my adjustments? What are the shifts in standards? Like, how do I utilize each of these social media platforms to the maximum of their capabilities? And guess what? People started getting their asses blocked. People started getting their comments deleted. Like, now I still get, people feeling a type of way, but when I choose to respond, it's very intentional, and it's in a way that I feel like doesn't pull from my vibration and doesn't lower my vibration. And also, I've given myself, again, permission to delete, block, and do whatever the hell I damn please. Becky, your ass needed to do the same. You were on a reality TV show. So you have to imagine that at some point, a reality show that's here to highlight the conflicts and exploit the conflicts within your day-to-day regular lives, that you're going to get some type of feedback back, because nobody is perfect. If I was on Sweet Life or Love and Hip Hop or whatever the hell reality TV show, people will probably be dragging me, because I would be saying whatever the hell I damn think, and they'll be like, Erica thinks that she knows everything. Erica thinks that she better than everybody. And you know how I know that? Because of stuff that I've been told my entire life. Just based off of my perspective, based on the confidence that I use when I speak and how I articulate myself, those are things I'm going to get. So Becky, while it's not fair, it's not right for people to say that, they want to beat you up or do X, Y, and Z online. It's 100% not right. But you now cultivating this bullshit ass, fake ass smoke in the era of a damn pandemic and monkeypox, honey, which I know y'all filmed this before, but I'm just saying, we were still very much so in COVID times, and you running around here in a tizzy about Miami showing up at Palm Springs and some people tweeting you, baby. Do you not have anything else going on? And I'm not trying to even victim blame or anything, so I'm interested to see what are y'all thoughts around Becky this season. Because I really, after episode 1, I can't think of like, well, why the hell are you even on the show? Because Brie is diving down into Body by Brie, Butter by Brie, BB, the damn brand that she is building that has grown and looks so much better now. She is definitely taking steps forward. She got her body together, and you can see that she's definitely still on her like identity journey. She gonna be dating, like she has some things going on. Y'all are best friends, but what is gonna be your thing? Because if you think that you're gonna ride this PJ and Myami storyline through the rest of the season, baby, we got something coming for you, because ain't nobody checking for that. Don't nobody care. And I think that that's what makes Becky stand out so much to me right now, because she has nothing going on. Moving on to PJ. I'm off of his ass just by the skin of his chinny chin chin, because he is an up and coming talent manager. You do see him actually doing things. You did see him trying to parlay last season. And what I respect about PJ is that I felt like his story was one of the most authentic. Like, they had him driving in his real ass car. They had him like just doing real ass shit, which I really respect. What I struggle with all the men, and that's just because of the season that I'm in life, is their communication and their lack thereof of effective communication and emotional intelligence. PJ has this weird ass indifference to the shit that he says and does, and it's like, if that's cool if you don't actually like these people, but if you are calling these people friends, then it shouldn't be nothing off your back to be like, you know what, you didn't understand, hear my apology before, I'm gonna say it to you right now. I apologize for the position that puts you in, for any of the fallout that you received online after the fact. That was never my intention. You don't have to worry about it happening again, because we're actually in a place that we don't even interact on that same level. But I also have learned. Now that will be my last apology. But no, he want to be standoffish at the end, causing this whole other like, and it's just like, it really is that simple, man. Like, it really is that simple. But I'm also finding, and I just thought about this today, so y'all let me know how this sounds, because I've been trying to really work on how I articulate things. It is my observation, based on my perception, that men are very focused on winning battles and wars, and sometimes y'all gotta learn that you don't win the battle so that you can win the war, and you have to be able to give and take a little bit more, and you have to be okay with being wrong sometimes. I'm noticing that that's a thing that is an issue for men. And again, that is my perception based off of my observation. That's going to be my new phrase that I use to qualify all of my observations about people, since people want to be like, well, ain't nobody say everybody ain't this and all people ain't that. I never said that. But from my experience, culminating some of my thoughts based off of my experience and observation, I perceive the following. Y'all let me know how y'all like that. Okay, what else? Let's go back to Brie real quick. Brie is going to be dating some more. I really just want Brie to find somebody and be happy. But I actually want Brie to be happy by her damn self. But Patiri got me last season, and I was like, okay, girl, we can do him. What I'm not interested in seeing is this little light-ass girl, this pretty-ass girl from, I think she's from the middle of America, Midwest, coming out here to make it in LA and really just focused on making it on her looks and finding somebody to keep her. I could care less about that story. We have seen that 1,000 times. And I'm not saying that Briana is that. However, her story starts to shape up like that adjacent. And I get it. Like, there's a lot of the other people in the show are like in couples, so there's not a ton of dating. So she does bring that element. But I just feel like it looks so cliche. And for her to be in a place where she's not even, to me, she's not dating from a very confident position. She's not dating from a place of power and empowerment. She's almost like at the whims of whoever likes her. And I was reminded by that in this first episode, when old random ass dark skin, gray skin honey, the melanin is popping, but you're thirsty AF, rolls up on her party as soon as she like comes out and just has to pull her away and is like, yeah, let's go work out. Let's not go get something to eat or go to a movie because anybody could do that. Let's go work out because clearly your body is great. Like, sir, you even needing to bring up her body when she's in chains. Like, she's literally not wearing clothes. She's wearing chains. Her whole ass is out. It's clear that her body is bodying. You don't actually have to speak to that. And then he's like, okay, so like, is this a date or is this like a friend zone thing? I'm sorry, man, but but really, I'm not sorry. Your adversity to the friend zone is why in the hell we can't see eye to eye. Men's adversity to actually finding value in women before wanting to stick their penis in them is the reason why we are in the conundrum that we are in when it comes to dating and relating to one another. And I was literally watching dude spit his game at Brie, and I was just like, sir, go to hell. Honestly, you want a banger, so just say that. Like, you trying to differentiate, like, Negroes really do not understand the power that is in the friend zone. And I'm not trying to say use the friend zone as this manipulative space to like get in good, but I am saying befriend women. Befriend women. That's it. Get to know people before you want to insert your penis in them. Figure out if there's more there aside from a body that's fucking bodying and a face card that don't get declined. Because baby, that is temporary. He really just annoyed me, really kind of just disgusted me. And I've been having this conversation around platonic love and like the friend zone a lot, specifically around all of my coverage with the All American series. So if y'all want to go into more depth about that, then you can check out some of my videos there. I'll link a few of them in the comment section down below. But like, old, tall, dark, and handsome was like, that's all. It looks like that's all you got to bring to the table, sir. And your skin, your pretty ass skin, your great smile ain't gonna be enough, baby. It ain't gonna be enough. Even with how you approached her and talked to her to like spit your game, it's giving, you don't even have nothing else to talk about. You don't even have conversation. It's giving not innovative. It's giving uninteresting. It's giving no. And I want Brie to get to a place where she can identify that and be like, well, thank you, baby. I appreciate, you know, I have been in the gym. I have been in my yoga. I've been doing my thing. I'm glad you see it. You see me. But no, thank you. You said you didn't want to be in the friend zone, so I guess we also can't be friends. So I'm going to go back to my party. I hope you enjoy. Have a good one. But she ain't do that, y'all. She agreed to go out with him. And then in the confessionals said that she know that this ain't the one. She know that this is probably not going to go nowhere. And I'm just like, so girl, why the hell are you wasting your time so that you can eat? Body by Brie is making money, ain't it? Didn't you say that? You don't need this man to feed you. You don't need to, girl. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I think I am most interested in Amanda specifically because she seems like she's the one that's like really on her ball out of everybody. And I just want to know more. I did not get enough of her last season. Right after that is Tylynn. I absolutely adore her. I feel like she gives a little bit too much and I can totally relate to that. And then Brie are the ones I'm most interested to actually see something from this season and to follow their stories. We don't really get much from Amanda in this episode aside from her and Rob are actually going to be moving in together. They're working on breaking that news to her parents or her family. And then he wants to quit his job as a teacher and focus on being a comedian. And that's all cute and all, but why wasn't you doing this when you was living on your own? Now that we about to be in this 2-income household, I don't necessarily understand why you were trying to get rid of your income. So that's what Amanda was feeling. Definitely how she said it came off a little interesting. However, I'm gonna rock with her because again, I really enjoy her, I think the most. And I want to see more from her. Aside from that, she's like really just standing by Tylynn's side when all this goes down at the end of the episode and having to try to get Rob together because he makes a point of like, yeah, nobody can't come against Tylynn and all this other kind of stuff. And it's just like, I get exactly what he's trying to say. However, again, as a male, and this is my perception based off of my experience and observations, he was not effectively communicating what he was actually trying to say. So it came across like he was just butthurt and trying to protect his bro PJ, which just reiterates what the women were saying in reference to the men holding the other men accountable, which also speaks to how women are talking about men currently in culture right now, about like how men are just not holding their homeboys accountable, but you want to have their back when they on some and y'all know what I was saying, but I'm trying not to, have YouTube have a problem with me. I think this is going to be interesting because it's definitely going to put a little bit of strain between Amanda and Rob in their relationship. I'm hoping that they can get to a place of better communication. Rob was so solid last season, like so just a very solid, soft place to land, a great person to talk to last season. It do kind of feel like his character is shifting a little bit this season, or maybe it's just we're getting to see more of him, or he's allowing himself to be seen more and he's not as protected of himself this season. But from episode 1, I'm not really feeling where he's at with it. And if you finna ride the PJ train where you feel like to comedic stardom, you might want to go ahead and reconsider and adjust course, because getting you a black woman on your side will get you there every single time. I don't know about PJ, and I don't know if he's the horse that you want to bet on and that you want to double down with and throw your whole damn relationship and everything, friendships out the window behind. But you know, it's your life. Jaylenn, I'm gonna make this quick because you're a real nigga. Like, period. I knew it from the first time that you came on screen. The way that you was about to bust PJ in his face behind yours, I have no notes. I have no thoughts. Like, it got a little bit hectic by the end of the episode, so I really do got to go back and rewatch it and see who was actually in the wrong. I enjoyed the energy. Now, I don't know if Jaylenn was wrong for about to slap the hell out of PJ. However, I understood when he was talking in the confessional about he had just said certain things and he's the boyfriend. He got Tylynn. Like, he don't need PJ trying to co-sign and say some stuff to try to smooth things over, when at the end of the day, the whole issue is because of him. So, like, let's not move on and try to smooth this part over, but you could have made everything smoother just by being accountable and communicating more effectively, which is what I think Jaylenn was trying to get to. But again, it was so much commotion by the end of the episode. I don't know. All I know is that PJ was about to get some hands laid on him. But then also PJ don't seem like no whore, because he was ready to go too. So, well, shit. I don't know, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about that in the comment section down below. Rounding out these men, my least favorite man on the show, this should not be of no surprise. Gerard is back this season being Gerard, or Gerald, whatever the fuck his name is. His name is Gerald. I am so annoyed because he literally goes out of his way to outline how he had security escort somebody off stage, with my air quotes, but then doesn't understand or doesn't want to be accountable for how the security escorted him off stage and out the damn door. Like, if you felt the way about this boy coming on stage, you felt like he was trying to steal your moment so much so that you got security involved, then what is the big damn deal to be like, yeah, I had you thrown out? I mean, I didn't necessarily mean for it to be that you got thrown out, but if that's what happened, that's what happened, because I wanted to control the situation. Like, Gerald does this thing where he only cops to like half of certain things, and he creates narratives in his mind to make sure that he's always in the right. That damn podcast situation last season, it was on him. It was his podcast, and he was not moderating how he was supposed to moderate as the host of the damn podcast. He let shit go awry, and then he threw his hands up as if he had no responsibility when somebody came to him and said, hey, I didn't like how you actually handled this. You left my man out here in a group of people who he's unfamiliar with, and you supposed to be my people. You supposed to be looking out for him as my man, and you didn't actually do that. You threw your hands up instead of being like, oh damn, I can actually see what you're saying, or I hear you. You want to say that ain't my responsibility. That's that man's responsibility. The same way that you literally called the security to have him escorted somewhere. You maybe even said, just get him out of here, and meant get him off the stage, and he was thrown out, and you want to throw up your hands and be like, I didn't tell them to put you out the party. Boy, Dookie, like, get out of here with that bullshit. Like, he literally said that this season. I was like, okay, great. We got to deal with another season of Gerald being on some bullshit and not being accountable to nothing and acting like his shit don't stink and thinking that he's like God's gift to I don't know what the because even him being so overprotective about Cheryl, the men can't even rub body butter on Cheryl's arm because he like, yeah, just only touch her hands. Boy, go sit your insecure ass down somewhere. I understood with old boy who was trying to kick game a little bit, even though he said he wasn't trying to kick game. I get how that was a little bit of a gray area that you wasn't actually feeling. But Gerald, walk your ass up and then stand there and see what's being said. Because right now you're coming across very controlling and possessive, and it's not a good look, baby. It's not a good look at all. But you know what? He's also one of them who says he don't give a damn about what nobody think and what nobody perceives about him. He just out here in life doing him. Cool. You continue to do you, being a goofy Negro that you actually are. Cool. Rock like that. See, this is why I don't like breaking down reality TV shows, because I literally just called a real person a goofy ass. And I mean it, but I also don't want people to feel away because I said it. But I do mean it. I don't get much from Cheryl in this episode, which I'm glad, because she was not my favorite by the end of last season. I was over sis. She is a little estranged from everybody, and she is playing her position. She's still beautiful as ever. Everybody's beautiful as ever. Everybody looks amazing on this cast. The show is aesthetically pleasing. The soundtrack is popping. And LA is going LA, okay? It's given. So I don't really have much to say about Cheryl just yet. Miami girl, I get it. But like, let's not make I'm the pop-off girl our only reality persona, because you really seem like you're a really nice girl who got trapped into this one part of a storyline, and now you're like doubling down in it and keeping that same energy. And Becky ain't even worth it. Becky ain't even worth you throwing these type of slurs across the table and trying to read down her lace and calling her a cow and lace. Girl, cut it out. Okay, that's all I got, y'all. First episode was interesting. Again, I'm back for season 2 to watch it. I don't do a ton of reality TV shows, but I'm really glad that I tuned into this one. I have a couple friends who work for Hooray and work on the show, so shout out to them. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all's doing y'all's thing. And here's to watching these 20-somethings continue to push forward, grow, hopefully progress, fall deeper in love with themselves and others. And here's to the sweet life. It's your good sis you love to talk TV with. Drop down in the comment section and tell me your thoughts, and we can chop it up. See you in the next one.